Hello friends, this is Dr. Urmi Satyan from Pandit Deendayal Energy University. Today we will discuss one of the American plays, Death of a Salesman, written by Arthur Miller. The play is published in 1949, almost 19 years after the time of the Great Depression that enveloped America. This was the time when the stock market crashed and America, generally known as the land of promises, could not keep her words. As we all know, that literature is written on a page that carries the watermark of the prevalent time. Literature sometimes reveals the past, unfolds the present, and foresees the future. Death of a Salesman is one such play that oscillates between hopes and disappointments, desires and desolations, sweet dreams and bitter realities. Dear friends, you might have heard a saying, never judge a book by its cover. That is very true, but we can surely judge a book by its title. The title, Death of a Salesman, itself makes it clear that the drama is about some salesman's death. The very word salesman draws our attention to the middle class that generally struggles for financial security and social status. Let us understand the storyline of the play. The protagonist, Willie Loman, is a 63-year-old salesman who tussles a lot to strike balance between his dreams for success and the reality of persistent failure in the present time. His wife Linda is a caring and loving person. She is a moral support to the family. Mr. and Mrs. Loman have two young sons, Beef and Happy, who are jobless. She consoles her husband whenever he is found anxious or frustrated. However, every time she had to retreat. Linda also tries to bridge over the gap between her husband and their sons, who have developed bitterness for their father as he is angry, irreconcilable, and rigid. Beef and Happy censor their father's anger and his rough driving skills. Throughout the play, we see that Willie appears to be an unskilled competitor who competes with the success of his dead brother Ben. He is also looking up to the image of his father, who was a flute maker. Willie takes pride in remembering that his father was a manufacturer as well as seller of flute. In a way, the memory of his father is a source of Willie's self-fulfillment. But in his personal life, the bar of dissatisfaction and anger keeps growing as he continuously shadowboxes and dreams to be the number one man. In the times of utter disappointments, Willie recalls his son's childhood days when they were successful in their school academics and extracurricular activities. But these memories clash with the present realities of their failure. He thinks his son's failures have deceived him. When Happy and Beef talk about buying a ranch, they sound utterly immature. Beef tells his brother Happy, maybe we could buy a ranch, raise cattle, use our muscles. Men built like we are should be working out in the open. On the other side, Willie's life is not limited to his wife and sons. He is also surrounded by the memories of a woman whom he met in Boston and developed love interest. Once he was caught by Biff, and that memory of his son finding him in a hotel room with a woman lands him in soup. Beef calls his father fake, and this tag gets imprinted in Willie's mind for lifetime. Whenever Willie shares his feelings of inferiority by saying, I am fat, I look foolish, people laugh at me, I talk too much, etc., Linda tries to pacify him by complimenting him that he is the most handsome person. Linda's compassionate compliments crisscross with the memory of a woman from Boston and gets Willie more agitated. Willie tries to confront these inferiority complex with animated confidence, but the situational force of depression is so strong that any positive change seems impossible. All throughout his life, Willie remains unprepared to accept reality. His next door neighbor Charlie offers him job, but Willie refuses even when he was in dire need of one. Charlie's son's success adds to Willie's frustration. Linda gets angry on her sons and orders them to get out of the house as they were ignorant of Willie's psychological condition. Beef comes to talk to his father in the garden where he was sowing seeds. Beef says that loyalty and trust are missing in their family. He also says that he will not be shocked to know about his father's untimely death anytime. Happy also says once, "He is not my father, he is just a guy." Thus, the play brings to our attention how the fate of an individual coincides the fate of a society. The psychological burden of the society eventually turns out to be the burden of every individual. Death of a Salesman is a family drama. There is a father, mother, and two young sons. On face value, it is a complete family. However, when we look at the family values, we see big gaps. The gaps can be filled with warmth, respect, love, and care for each other, whereas we notice sheer lack of confidence. Willie keeps on repeating his regret why he did not join his brother Ben in Alaska. He thinks his life would not have been so miserable if only he had gone to Alaska. Not only that, he frequently quotes his brother's struggle and success in front of his sons and thus mocks their failure. Willie sighs at his sons and says, "You guys, there was a man started with the clothes on his back and ended up with the diamond mines." To such banters, Happy says, "Boy, someday I would like to know how he did it." This remark agitates Willie and he says, "What is the mystery? The man knew what he wanted and went out and got it, walked into a jungle and comes out. The age of 21 and he is rich. The world is an oyster, but you don't crack it open on a mattress." Willie's disappointment at his son's unadventurous nature is clearly visible. He complains that they never come out of their comfort zones. The play shows that Willie Loman is a dreamer, but he does not have skills to fulfill them. His son Biff says he had the wrong dreams, all wrong. By the end of the play, when Willie finds that he and his sons have utterly failed in fulfilling their dreams and desire to be rich, he thinks about committing suicide and thus making the life insurance money available to the family. As readers, we pity to see his poor death. Willie dies with a satisfaction that he has somehow managed to solve the financial problem of the family. Willie's sudden death disturbs Linda. She says, after his cremation, that she can't cry over his death. She also says, "Willie, I made the last payment on the house today. Today, dear, and there will be nobody home. We are free. We are free." Willie's salesmanship and his dreams are justified by his neighbor, Charlie, who says, "Nobody does blame this man. You don't understand. Willie was a salesman, and for a salesman, there is no rock bottom to the life. He don't put a bolt to a nut. He don't tell you the law or give you medicine. He is a man way out there in the blue, riding on a smile and a shoe shine. And when they start not smiling back, that is an earthquake. And then you get yourself a couple of spots on your head and you are finished. Nobody does blame this man. A salesman is got to dream, boy. It comes with the territory." Dear friends, The play Death of a Salesman was published in 1949, wherein we see Willie dying for a dream, of a dream, and with a dream. In a way, Willie immortalizes the concept of having a dream when the nation of America was almost dreamless. Willie Loman's and also of the general public of America's dreams got voice in August 1963 when the American civil rights activist Martin Luther King Jr. delivered the historic speech and gave a golden dream of equality and justice to all the Americans. Thus, Death of a Salesman is a play that shows the general public of America's struggle to survive under the dark shadow of the Great Depression. Thank you for your kind attention. Bye for now.